I hate to even say this, but this is like an enterprise software approach to meal planning. Like,
it is like the data model, like the depth in that is pretty remarkable.
Start it up, let's get it rolling. Big ideas, money folding, hustle smart, dream so wide. Turn that grind into a joyride.
So we're wearing hats on the show now.
I am. Thing? So I like it because I can be two modes. So if I disagree with something, I have angry Dave, like evil Dave. Happy Dave. Evil Dave. Happy Dave.
So
I don't know. I just think it looks cool.
So can I get a hat? What hat do I wear?
Well, this is just a hat from a coffee shop in fabulous Bath, Ontario.
Yeah, their coffee is made with 100%
bath water. Yeah, I like that place. It's like it was weird. It had its own place, and then it moved into the library. Just to give you an idea of how bustling the Bath, Ontario economy is.
And now they're getting mentioned on the start of different podcasts.
I know. If this doesn't make them take off, I don't know what will. So anyway. What's going on, Chris?
Not much.
What are we talking about today?
Well, today is a big day.
It is a big day. So last episode we had a product.
Yeah.
And now this episode we also
you're
revealing yourself today.
Yeah.
And in both ways.
That was my joke that I used on you last
funny.
week. That you were going to reveal yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was actually just a business idea.
Yeah. Well, that's what you're going to do right now.
Yeah, that's right. Sort of. This is actually your idea, though. Like,
sure.
Do you want to give the genesis story of this idea and what it is?
Yeah. Okay, cool. So, basically, I went to Chris and was like, I need a tool so I can stop fighting with my wife. And then this is a broad commentary. Okay.
And we solved it.
Marriage, we're going to crush that divorce rate. No, like my wife and I get along great, but it's just we do fight basically weekly over what we're gonna have for dinner, and it sounds like a silly problem. And so I kind of went down this rabbit hole of just me being me, of like, okay, well, I'm gonna build a spreadsheet. We're gonna like put in our favorite meals that we like to order, or excuse me, like we like to make, and sometimes like to order actually, where we try to make them ourselves, and kind of like build out what do at least our dinners look like over a monthly basis, so a 4-week period. And once I always felt like it was a function of organization. If we just got organized enough and we could plan this out, then we could sort out what meals we were having. But then it's like, okay, so what meals are we going to have quickly led to? Okay, so we have the meals sorted out. And I used like a randomization tool to make it so we wouldn't have the same kind of food too often and stuff like that. I couldn't really accommodate for like leftovers or for nights when we ordered out. And then there was also just like what are the groceries? Yeah. You know, and then it was like, hey, trying to discern what the groceries are from those recipes, even using like AI, like just modestly, like just using it through a chat tool, like was kind of challenging because of, and you can get into this in a few minutes. Yeah. But so basically I ended up being like, okay, this is actually a real problem. Like this is complicated enough that people, I think, half-ass a solution to it pretty commonly, or just eat food that they don't really like, or, you know, just the lowest common denominator. What's the easiest thing based on what I have in front of me that I know how to make? And they just keep eating kind of crappy food over and over again. Not that the food's bad. It's just like, they're just the same meals. And so I was kind of like, hey, Chris, I've got an idea for you. And then, I guess kind of took it from there.
Yeah. So I also had similar problems, similar but different.
Yeah. I have 2 kids, right? For context.
Dave has 2 kids. He's got, you're vegetarian. Your wife is almost vegan, also gluten-free.
I would not qualify her as vegan at all. She's vegetarian. Close, no, she's not anymore. She's vegetarian. She's vegetarian. Maybe pescatarian these days. So she eats fish. So
okay.
Yeah.
But you know,
so very not vegan.
Your son has also got a cashew allergy. Sophia will eat anything pretty much.
Yeah. Actually, she's gotten really picky as of the last couple of months.
Yeah, and I know she doesn't like tofu.
Ever since she had, I mean, tofu's great, but anyway, ever since she had, like, when she went to summer camp and had hot dogs, that really did like exploded the whole thing. Anyway,
we went out for dinner a week ago, and she got tacos with French fries on the side, and it came with a little dipping thing of ketchup, and she was using the fries as like a scoop.
Yeah, as a spoon. She spoons ketchup via fries. It's the craziest.
Your wife was not too impressed.
It's such a kid thing, though. I kind of love it on the one hand, but on the other hand, I'm like, oh my gosh, she's just eating a barrel of sugar.
You know what's really bad is I also had fries with my meal, and I realized I was doing the same thing. She might have picked that up from Uncle Chris.
Probably.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
So my issue so I'm vegetarian. I'm also trying to lose some weight. So I'm trying to do keto at the same time as being vegetarian.
That's got to be impossible.
I know.
Like, what the hell do you eat?
It is really tough when you try to do
bags of protein powder.
Yeah, well, yeah, I know. It's really boring.
That's disgusting.
Basic, right?
Yeah.
So anyways, I was like, this is kind of interesting. We obviously in our past life, we did like enterprise software. And one of the things that we built was like a tool that would like organize all the people that would respond to an incident, like bring in police,
emergency
responders, first responders, all that sort of stuff. And it was kind of like organizing all these various disparate resources and bring them together to do one thing. And there's kind of some similarities to the way we approached this whole meal planning thing. Although I feel like the meal planning isn't going to require 24/7 support, which is a really nice thing.
Well, like hopefully not. Like eat something. So what's it called? Let's start with that.
So the app that we're building, we actually got the .com domain name for it. So it's PurePrep. .com. The app, I'm hoping it's going to be in the app stores by the time this episode is out in the real world.
It better be.
It might not be, but we'll see. But we're in that process right now. We're probably like, as of recording today, probably have maybe like a week and a half. And then depending on app stores approvals and, if Apple doesn't like something, they're going to give us a hard time, but should be out there. So going back to my problem was like a different set of meal related issues. So I decided to really kind of unpack this as like a data problem, a data modeling problem.
Okay.
So when you think about the different objects that you're trying to model, you've got people and they've got things like dietary restrictions or the diet that they're following. So vegetarian, keto, whatever, allergies, so cashews, or I'm a peanut kid. Well, right?
And walnuts, right?
Yeah, and walnuts. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's just wonderful how complicated this is. And so then you have like different meals throughout the day. But like, hey, kids go to school and they're gonna have
certain
those
days of the week.
Yeah. So like you're gonna have to prep the lunch meal for the next day. Like
they also have snacks.
Yeah, exactly. And not everybody follows the same schedule. So some people will have, 3 squares a day, 7 days a week.
Oh yeah.
Other people
there's like intermittent fastings in there too, right? Yeah, for sure.
So this whole thing gets really complicated. So and obviously we're going to use some AI to do some of these things, but you have to set the context for AI to get really good output from it. And so I think what we've done is we've tried to really model this problem, the data around this problem, and then where we can use algorithms because more efficient, faster, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But
old school.
where we need a little bit of creativity and a little bit of help for a complicated question, we're using a little bit of AI as well. So really the genesis of this is it's always tough to take something and make it simple, because if you go really simple, then it doesn't have the flexibility that people need to actually get value out of the product. Okay. So for instance, I mentioned the meal schedule. Okay. So if we just picked breakfast, lunch, dinner 7 days a week, and that's it, then very few users would find that useful because they'd be like, well, I have lunch at school for the kids.
Or like I have a protein bar in the middle of the day.
Exactly.
Right? Like, for sure. Yeah.
It blows up. So having the ability to essentially like template your week and say, these are the meals that I want to plan. Okay. The rest of the meals I'm going to look after otherwise, or I'm going to statically set them as being whatever. So protein bar, a shake or something like that happens consistently on the same meal slot every day. And then, so at that point, then you're like, okay, well, so we've got, say, dinner on Monday nights. Okay. And what recipe we're going to cook that night? So we stick a recipe in there, but, oh, wait a minute. That doesn't work for everybody. Like the parents are going to have one recipe and the kids are going to have a completely different recipe. So you have to have like 2 recipes in that meal slot. Okay. And then it's like, oh, wait.
That's so true.
What about if we're going to have, salads to start? So we're going to have an appetizer salad, a main course. Then maybe on Fridays, we get dessert. Okay. But only on Fridays.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can see how this whole data model sounds like this really simple thing. And it's like an onion. You just keep pulling back layers and finding more layers. So that was one of the big challenges here when we went into this, was like, how do we model the data properly so that we can down the road be able to use the AI to solve these problems? Whereas if we have kind of like a poor data model from the get-go, it doesn't go very far.
Yeah.
So
there's a couple of features I really liked of it too. So I've played with the prototype or version 0.01 kind of idea, and a couple of things that I find really cool. One is your ability to like describe a meal or take a photo of a meal or take a photo of like something in your cookbook. And it takes that recipe and basically adds it right into the app, and it basically makes it like a central place for all of your recipes across however you get them.
Yeah,
which I thought was pretty cool.
That's actually kind of like the beginning thing of the app. The first thing you kind of want to do is sort of curate your recipes and things that you like. And yeah, a lot of people have their favorite pancake recipe or their favorite whatever that might be like scribbled down on a piece of paper or out of an old cookbook or something like that. So one of the main features of the app, just like you said, is like you can take a photo of that recipe in that cookbook or that magazine or that scribbled down thing. The app will actually, we had to go really deep on the OCR technology to be able to read that properly.
OCR?
Optical character recognition. So being able to convert to text. And then we take that and we shove it into an AI model to actually parse out all the information. So the full ingredient list, all the steps, and we actually break everything down really granularly so that we've got very detailed steps. So for people like me that don't cook a lot, you're, pardon the pun, but spoon feeding the instructions to me.
Okay.
Whereas people who are more experienced, there's a more kind of like advanced cook mode where you can whip through it quicker because you know most.
That makes sense. That's cool actually that you have that kind of variability. The other thing though is I think the number one thing that I think would be valuable there is I find it, and I think everybody hates this, when you go to a recipe website and it's like, hey, here's my life story and my inspiration behind this lasagna. And you're like, bro, I just need to know how to cook it and what goes in it. And so I like the idea with this app where it's basically just cut to the chase. Get rid of all this like search engine bloat. And instead just tell me exactly how to do this right away.
The thing I find really that I struggle with as well is if I go to a recipe that's online, it is just so packed with ads.
Yeah.
You have a hard time following, like, where is the ingredient list? Where are, like, here are the steps?
Yeah, between the ad and like the newsletter pop up and the video running in the corner, you're like, trying to make the friggin' food.
And then you're like, oh, no problem, I'll just print it. Okay, and you go to print it and you get all that stuff and it's like 10 pages long.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I've never do you print it and you actually get the like physical like the printed ads?
It's a mess. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, based on the sites that I've been to. So one of the things we've been doing,
there's no printer friendly. It's like all of a sudden you have a newspaper featuring a little thing. Yeah.
So one thing we've been doing is, and this actually exists in quite a few different apps out there, but you can, if you're on like a website or social media and you see a recipe you like, you can share it to the PurePrep app. It'll then pull it into our AI model, parse all the information for you.
Cool.
It actually goes through as well and generates like images of the steps. So that, because I'm an idiot. I don't know how to cook, right? So I don't know how to zest a lemon or anything like that.
You don't know how to zest a lemon?
I don't.
It's a pretty trivial process.
I do now,
Take a lemon, grate it.
Yeah, but I wouldn't know what that was, So anyways, it'll go through.
What would you have done before? If you had no knowledge of zesting, what's your first move?
I think I would have taken a knife and
try to like carve it really finely,
something like that. Yeah, I don't really know. Bottom line,
you're in a different cooking category. It's okay.
I am. I'm very beginner, but so one of the on that point, so one of the features of the app is a cook mode. So you've now got this data model where you've pulled this recipe apart. You've actually organized it really well. And hey, it's time to cook it. You hit the cook mode button. It actually walks you through the steps one by one.
Cool.
We have an experimental feature as well. So it'll say the recipe steps to you. So you don't have to read. You can just sort of listen. Get your lemon,
like boil water or like get zester, zest half lemon.
Preheat oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit.
Cool.
Like that sort of stuff.
Sweet.
So you're kind of just doing your thing and your phone is there. Okay. And you're just listening and you can glance at it, look at the pictures of the steps that you're doing as you need to, but you don't have to be like glued to it. We have an experimental feature where it's voice activated as well. So it'll say, all right, get 2 lemons out of the fridge, and you can say, got it. And then it goes to the next step.
Oh, cool. That's really cool.
Or you can say next, or there's a bunch of
you move your way through the process.
Yeah. The voice capture is still it's an experimental feature because the voice capture is a little bit fuzzy right now.
Cool.
Sometimes it doesn't hear you properly. So we're working on that, but that's a big part of it. The next step is once you you've got all these recipes that you want to organize. You organize them into your meal plan. So as we mentioned earlier, with your who's eating what and when, and
So how does that work though? Is it like, so I've set it, let's just start from the start. So I open the app, I set my people in my family, I guess, and then I have some recipes that I guess I'm loading from whatever. So either is there a recipe bank also in the app?
Okay. We've got like a library of pre-built recipes.
Okay, so if you wanted to try something new, you could. Okay, yeah. And then you load it into like a meal plan, and that's based on, how does it, like, a couple of things. How does it know like how much people eat? Like, how does it know like a kid versus an adult? And then how does it like optimize that? Am I manually going in and putting in like I want this on this day, or is it like, is it just lack of a better term, does it AI this?
It does some magic here.
Okay.
So yeah, essentially it'll auto plan the meals for you.
Okay.
Once you've got your meal calendar set up, we have an onboarding wizard that kind of walks you through some of the basic setups. Onboarding wizards are really annoying sometimes because they can be a mile long, and so it's really trying to find the sweet spot there. I think we've got a good where we collect enough data to get you going, and you can add more data later to further optimize the way that the app responds to what you need. But yeah, it's the magic button of auto planning your meals. Okay. So it'll generate what it recommends for you to have on each of those meal slots for everybody that's in there, including serving sizes, things like that.
Cool.
That are appropriate for kids.
So like it would know if it's a kid. It would know if it's a kid, or perhaps like, I don't know, like grandma, she eats like, or maybe a quarter of what everybody else eats. So yeah.
Yeah, okay. Absolutely. So we manage the portion sizes, that kind of stuff. One of the annoying things too, when I find I get a recipe online, is that it's, serves 4. I'm 1. Okay. So I have to do this math on everything.
You gotta eat 4,
to dial
man.
it back down.
Or you could eat 2 and save 2. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, well, the nice thing about the AI is
he's eating for 2. Okay, sorry.
So the AI makes it so that it'll portion size it properly based on the people that are actually eating. So you don't get a recipe that doesn't make any sense.
Oh, that's really cool. That's really, so it actually does some math to be like, this is the right amount based on your who's eating this meal.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Exactly.
I really like that.
Exactly. So and then the last piece is obviously you got to go get some groceries at some point. So you hit a button, it grabs all those ingredients, it consolidates them, figures out the quantities based on the meals that you're going to need, and gives you a really nice shopping list. And we actually we categorize each ingredient into the different areas of a typical grocery store. So
cool. Like
here's
produce,
all your produce,
meat, like bread or whatever.
I'm the king of like going to the grocery store, going to like the dairy aisle to get something, then going all the way to produce, then being like, oh, I forgot that other thing in the dairy aisle, and go all the way back.
So
right?
I love this feature because it's so important. When Anna would normally text me and be like, she's kind enough now to put it in the order that I will walk through the grocery store.
Oh, cool.
Because she knows the grocery store so well.
Yeah.
And like, honestly, I do too, but like at least my main one, everybody kind of knows their main one really well. Yeah. But I love the idea that it's organized like that, so that even if you didn't do that sort of thing, it gives you that same kind of efficiency. Right. Or if you're going to a grocery store you've never been to before, you can kind of like, okay, what zone am I in now? At least it's like marginally more efficient. Yeah. But yeah. That's really cool.
No, absolutely. So, so that's it. Yeah. And obviously we're really close. This is actually the app right here. We got the kind of like the kitchen-y sage green
PurePrep.
Yeah. There's a dark mode as well. That's a very classy night on the town kind of look.
Good evening.
Yeah, okay. Exactly. For the people that love dark mode.
I was wondering on the recipe thing. So like you have this catalog of recipes. Is it just like a search tool? Like what am I looking at? Because I'm pretty visual with this stuff. Like at least I find with food, it's like I can tell pretty quickly if I want to eat something just basically by looking at it.
Yeah. So one of the things that we want to do is actually be very visual. So we have a discover mode on the recipes where it's all image based, and we're kind of trying to knock off like the Instagram, TikTok kind of look.
Oh, like the real view.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So you get. I hope I can flick
it's working.
that properly. Yeah. So you can flick through to see different dishes. Yeah. It's pesto pasta.
That's pretty good. Hey, can't go wrong with pesto pasta.
And there's your lasagna right there.
Oh, beautiful.
Okay. So
wow, that's a really bougie lasagna.
Yeah. So one of the nice things that AI does for us is that we're able to take like the recipe. So say you have a recipe in a cookbook or in a magazine, and you take photos of the text for it, the AI will generate the image of the dish for you.
Oh, cool. So it like quickly like renders it. It's almost like you can like get a visualization for it, even if you don't have something.
And you know, this is one of those situations where we're standing on the shoulders of giants.
Sure.
We get to use some incredible AI
You didn't
models.
build an LLM to do recipes?
Yeah. You know, like a nice omelet, you know, you can kind of see. So I don't know about you, but my mouth starts watering when I start seeing some of these photos.
Graham, you interested in an omelet? Yeah, he is.
So the idea on this like discover mode is that you kind of flick through, and when you see something you like, you can double tap it or hit the heart icon to favorite it.
And you save it to your like, recipes.
That starts to be prioritized or weighted more heavily on when you auto plan your meals. So it gives you a way to kind of like tune the AI engine that here are things that I typically like. And what's interesting too is it's like a family app. Okay. You don't have to have your kids in it, but the parents can be in it. And they can actually make favorites themselves. So you'll get family favorites. So where your interests overlap with your wife's interests.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. That'd be really interesting because then you could be like, hey, I'm thinking about like, let's say we've had lasagna a couple of times. Hey, I'm thinking about like Thai food. Here's a Thai dish I saw, and then that comes up on the family feed.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's really cool. I really like that. Because that's the thing, right? So what do you want for dinner? And it's like, well, let's check our recipes. What does the schedule say? Like, I think if you have a system, this becomes very doable.
Yeah, this is, I hate to even say this, but this is like an enterprise software approach to meal planning. Like, you know.
It is. Like the data model, like the depth in that is pretty remarkable.
And that's really what we want to do here is go really deep on the data model and be able to handle all the exceptions, all those weird things, come up with really good suggestions. And
can I give you an exception?
All right.
Hot shot. So I've got my meals planned out or whatever. Boom, Christmas time. We're going to have like a big family dinner. This is like a more like exceptional kind of meal, right? So like, how do I do that? So how do I deal with that as a user?
It's interesting. We actually handle that in the app. So you can go and add a user. They don't have to be like an actual app user. They can just be a person that is listed in the app.
Okay.
So for instance, grandpa is going to come for Christmas dinner.
Sure.
You can
list like grandpa, grandma, aunt 1, aunt 2, you know, like everybody and their mother.
Absolutely. You can add all those as people set their profiles, their dietary restrictions, things like that. So if grandma is gluten-free, you can put that in, manage that as part of it. And then on your meal slots, you can add them as guests. So there's kind of like you have core family members that are kind of defaulted to every meal that they're going to be eating with you. And then you have kind of like guest members of your family that are not defaulted to every meal. So you can just manually go in and say, hey, Christmas dinner, add these 4 or 5 people on, now auto plan.
That's really cool.
Yep.
That's really cool.
Works out really well.
So you keep talking about like the number of like users and stuff. So like how does the costing work? Like how does somebody pay for this? Like what does it cost?
Yeah. So we'll see how this goes. We're going to go, I think we're going to start with it. Like it's a paid app that you purchase. There'll be like a 7-day free trial. So you can get a week under your belt.
Pretty normal stuff. Like build out kind of like a week, see how it goes, and then kind of go from there.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what the price point's going to be just yet. Hoping to keep it affordable. We do have these AI tokens that we get charged for along with a lot of hosting costs. So we have to do some cost modeling.
But it's not going to be like $50 a month or something crazy.
I'm thinking more like in the $10 a month range is kind of what we're trying to target. Cool. And the idea too is it's not per user, it's per family.
Oh, okay. So the whole household.
Exactly. So you have 2 adults, say, that are using the app. It's it's essentially $5 each, but paid for.
So I guess this is like kind of the way, because I guess I always think about, okay, how is somebody going to game this? Right? A good business person thinks, okay, I built out a model. How is somebody going to take advantage of it? And I guess that they would take advantage of it if they could have like more than one like meal schedule, because that could be like a totally different family or a totally like another shopping list. Yeah. So you must have only like one of those.
Yeah. There are some restrictions in there that make it kind of annoying to try and do that, but I hope
can I like, I know you can ask like the AI in the app to generate like or like ask it for a recipe or generate a recipe based on like an image or something. So what if I put like an image of like my butt? What's it gonna do?
Yeah. So we did. Don't
act like it won't happen. This will happen.
We did a deep dive on AI safety on this and put a lot of safeguards in place. I'm feeling fairly confident that we've got all the potential risks, managed there.
It'll just say, sorry, that seems to be a picture of your buttocks.
I think it just says, this does not appear to be a recipe.
It's very polite about it.
Yeah.
This is not a recipe. It appears to be a posterior.
Actually, I got that idea from, remember we did a review of like that sticker box AI toy that we got your daughter.
Yeah.
And they did the same thing where you would talk to it and it would generate stickers. And they tested like crazy to see if they could get it to do something lewd or disgusting.
Oh, really?
Or weird.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. And obviously they have the AI safety in place.
Actually, I didn't even think about that, but that's a really, I'm glad they did deep testing on that thing, because you can see that getting out of hand pretty quickly.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So that's kind of where we're at. Hoping to launch it to the app store.
So launching soon, possibly already live, maybe not, we'll see. Be in the major app stores, download it, free trial period. Add your family, give it a shot, and see how it goes. I'm really pumped. I'm definitely, obviously, going to use this. But
this is always one of those scary moments. Whether they say if you're not embarrassed by your version 1, then you're too late.
Yeah, you're too late.
So there's definitely going to be some loose ends that we're going to realize later that, oh my gosh, we should have done this or we shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
But I'm really looking forward to getting into the iteration mode of releasing updates on a regular cadence. And I loved doing that when we were running App Armor, and I want to get back into that mode again, because it's a great feeling to be pushing out new or shipping new software.
It's fun also to get just like your early adopters. Like with Manshower, I'm feeling very excited when something happens. Notwithstanding the Shopify app does a giant like shing when you sell something, but it is just cool to see people engaging with the product and enjoying the product.
Yeah,
and I feel like that's the same. I remember what motivated you the most at App Armor was just people using the software. And,
absolutely.
And I feel like it's a very fulfilling thing. So I do look forward to it being live.
Yeah,
as well.
like somebody being able to use the software and have fewer fights in their household around dinner time would be amazing and make me feel awesome. So cool. We'll see how it goes.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, good luck. God bless. I mean, I'll be there too, but God bless.
It's like your idea.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, well, we'll see you next week, folks. Hey.
Start it up. Let's get it rolling. Big ideas, money folding. Hustle smart, dream so wild. Turn that grind into a joyride.